Hello and welcome to Green Valley Zoo episode 1, my first ever YouTube video. Very excited to be joining this community. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm in England, my name's Adam, and in real life I am a gardener, which I think is one of the reasons why I love this game, because it's an incredibly creative job that I have, and it's fun to find a game like this that I can use my knowledge and my creativity in slightly different ways. So yeah, it's been great fun getting into it. I used to play Planet Coaster when that first came out. I played that for a long time, and then I didn't get into Planet Zoo, and I don't really know why. I think I just had other games going on and I didn't really have the time for it. But I started following other people on YouTube, watching their Planet Zoo videos, and I could see just what they were managing to do with the game, and I thought, yep, that's for me, and so I've finally got round to doing it, and now I've decided I quite fancy trying to make some videos out of it as well, just for fun. I'm not expecting to get millions of followers or make any money or anything. I'm just here for fun, and just to share ideas and opinions with people, and hopefully people like watching what I create in the game. So this is my first proper zoo. I've played a few practice zoos to get ideas of what you can do in the game, and you know, how the habitats work, and what it's capable of. There's been a few disasters along the way, but I think I've just about got to grips with the game now. So this is my first proper attempt at a full zoo. I am recording this voiceover a little bit after actually filming bits of the zoo. I've actually got 4 or 5 episodes filmed already. I just haven't started the voiceover, mainly because due to what's going on in the world at the moment, I'm currently not living at home, so all my equipment, i.e. my microphone, was at home, so I had to wait until I could get back there to get hold of this. And so here we go. So this what you're looking at now is my my entrance building to my zoo. I had the idea that I wanted to work with the glass. I thought I'd try one of the trickiest materials in the game first. I really fancied having a building with stone, wood and glass all in one building, and this is what I came up with in the end. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a bit tricky, especially the glass panels. The triangular ones are very tricky to work with, particularly because I didn't want them flat. I wanted them at an angle, coming away from the building, which you'll see in a short while. Yeah, made it very tricky indeed. But you know, that's half the fun of this game, is trying to work out what you can do and what you can't, and if you can't do it, working out a solution so that you can do it. And as you can see, when I come to do the glass roof, it was tricky, but we'll talk about that when we get there. At the moment, I didn't want to go too detailed in this zoo. It's not a realistic zoo, as in backstage is sort of there, but not in massive detail. I'm creating it more like a I don't know, a zoo that could exist in real life, let's just say, which I think it can. There's going to be lots of animals in it, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be a zoo. But I'm also, because of what I am and what I do, I'm really into my plants and my foliage. So it's going to be quite a lush zoo, hence the name Green Valley. Because I just love the foliage in this game. I just think I think they've done an amazing job with the plants, especially considering how far it's come since Planet Coaster. And it was good in Planet Coaster, but it's better now, without a doubt. There's a lot more variation. And so it's going to be a very green zoo. The animals are going to be fairly spread out, because I want to have lots of wild areas, lots of ponds and rock gardens and desert gardens and swamp gardens. Lots of gardens basically. I'm a gardener. I want gardens, so there's going to be an awful lot of that stuff in there. And I've done a few zoos so far, my practice zoos, where all the animals are just side by side, one after another, and then when you let the guests in, it's so squashed and compacted that it just doesn't look good and it doesn't play well. And you end up just cramming everything into the first sort of 10% of the land, and you never really spread out, because by the time you've put so much time and effort into building a 10%, you sort of feel like you're worn out, and you can see 90% of the map unfilled, and I kind of started thinking, oh, that's too much to fill up now. I've already got 30 animals in this small area, sort of thing. So I also tried doing a zoo where I was very spread out and all my enclosures were huge, and that became too much because each enclosure was too big. So hopefully with this one I can strike some kind of a balance. Let's just talk about what we're looking at here. This is the glass roof. As you can see, it took me a few attempts to get the corner sorted out, but once I'd sussed that I had to use these smaller pieces, actually it came together relatively quickly. The problem that I had when I looked at it from a distance was that it was a bit top heavy, so you'll see in a minute I do sink it down a little bit, which actually I think works out much better. So this I had the idea that upstairs in this building would be, obviously it's not a real area, no one can go there, but I wanted it to look like an education centre, so maybe you'd get school kids coming in for classes and learning about the zoo. So that's what I end up with in the end. I put some benches up there and a big TV screen, that kind of thing. And you see I put a little staircase inside, again just for looks. Doesn't go anywhere or do anything. But I think the actual look of the building I was very happy with. It turned out a lot better than I expected, actually. It was my first attempt working with glass, so I was pretty happy with it. I will try it again, but not for a little while. I'm going to work with bricks and stone from now on for a little while, I think. Maybe a bit of wood chucked in there as well. You can see I was trying to lower it down, but I couldn't get it as low as I wanted because it just didn't work. But there, with the wood above the level of the glass, actually I thought looked very good, because it made the wood look like the floorboards for the second layer of the building. So actually I was happy that I did that in the end. Just had to fiddle around with the corners a bit and try and make sure nothing was sticking out through the glass. So yeah, it's not perfect, the corners, but I was happy with them in the end. Lots of fiddling around with these panels just to make sure that everything was even and nothing was poking out of the glass. Yeah, I had a little bit of stone in there, which I thought made sense because buildings need good foundations. So I thought have some stone on the corner would strengthen the structure. So a little bit of realism, but really it was the only material I could find that really filled the hole and looked half decent, to be honest. So I was quite happy with that. Now this building, I've put two information buildings downstairs. Obviously it could be swapped out for anything, and this building could be used elsewhere in the zoo, but I wanted it as an entrance building. I wanted something fairly spectacular but a bit different. I've watched many people build entrance buildings, and I've not seen one like this, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying not to copy other people. I'm trying to come up with my own ideas of how a building can look and how it can function, which isn't easy because there are some amazing builders on YouTube, and they seem to have already come up with all the good ideas, but I'll keep trying and coming up with my own ideas. Whether they're any good or not, I'll let you be the judge of that, but hey, I enjoy it, so that's what matters, isn't it? Yeah, when I started this, I didn't know what animals I was going to start putting in the zoo. So far as I record this, I've put 2 animals into the zoo, but I've also done a food court and a picnic area. So I'm trying not to just do habitat after habitat after habitat. I think that it gets a bit boring after a while. I'm trying to spend my time... oh, excuse me. Oh, it's my lunch repeating on me there. Lovely, thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm trying not to just repeat myself over and over. I'm trying to do different things in different orders and see what I can come up with. Oh, these little menus here, obviously they're TV screens, and then I've used the white letters, the 2D letters end on, to make it look like they're meant to look like ticket boards, telling you the prices of family tickets and that sort of thing. That's the idea of this building. That I can't remember who gave me the idea of that. I think it might have been Rudy Renkamel who gave me the idea for the using the letters side on like that. It's a very, very good idea. If it was him, I can't remember. Oh yes, plugging these gaps was a bit of a pain. I just went with wooden planks in the end. It's a lot of time and effort for very little gain, but it's you can't leave big gaps, so it had to be done. What was I saying? Yes, I'm trying not to copy people. That was it. I do watch 3, 4, 5 different people on YouTube who play Planet Coaster. Sorry, they used to play Planet Coaster, and now most of them play Planet Zoo. Most of them exclusively play Planet Zoo. Rudy Renkamel is obviously one, and the Lady Signer is another one. Geekism as well, although he hasn't been playing this so much recently. And they're all incredible builders. They really come up with new ideas virtually every day. So it's very hard to take inspiration from these people, but not to just blatantly copy what they've done. But I'm trying. The more I play the game, the more I get used to the pieces and what you can do with them. Using pieces in different ways, sinking stuff together and lowering stuff into the ground, that kind of thing. And it's a process when you're trying to come up with an idea for something. You just have to keep scrolling through the pieces and finding something that could work, and it's sort of half the fun of playing the game, really, is coming up with an idea and then figuring out how you can actually do it in the game. Yeah, just again, just mention what I've done up here. Just a big widescreen TV that's meant to be education boards, obviously, because it's an education centre. Just a little touch of realism I wanted to put on. I wanted to have some sort of electricity connected to the television. So I found this rope. It looked a bit like a wire, so I thought I'd use that. It's a shame in Planet Coaster we had proper wires to use, but we don't seem to have them unless I've missed them. But this cable here did just fine, and then I just stuck a plug on the back and a switch. Nothing fancy, just makes it look like it's actually a functional television. That's about the extent of the realism that you'll be seeing on this series. Just little things like that. I'll point stuff out as I go along. And then as I'd built this top section, I suddenly realised that it was enclosed from the bottom floor on the outside, other than obviously the vendors who hop through the over the counter, don't they? So I needed to put a door in, so I did just put a door at the back there. Not sure why I'm suddenly doing the railings. Don't think I've finished the door yet, but that's what I do sometimes. I'm a bit all over the place when I'm building. I'll jump from one thing to another and back again. And I think that's quite common, really. I think people, you're building and you come up with an idea, and then suddenly that's not working, so you move to something else, and then you go back to it. And so yeah, it can be a little bit higgledy-piggledy. Oh no, I had finished the door. I obviously just didn't record the end of it there. So yes, you can see the door on the back. Obviously, again, not functional. It's just for looks. So yeah, so the front, obviously, it's meant to look like a ticket office, hence the railing going in and the flooring. And then I just thought a bit of decoration, simple fence, and then I do put some foliage around it as well. Now, once I'd built this, I did spend a good day or so building the main entrance pathway area leading into the zoo from the spawn point. Unfortunately, my recordings for that have all gone wrong. Like I said, I am very new to this YouTube stuff, and I am not good with technology. I will say that straight away. And I pushed the wrong button and it didn't record properly for about 2 days before I noticed that my recordings weren't working. So I lost all the footage of my entrance pathway, which I'm actually really happy with. Not that I lost the footage, I'm happy with the result. So I will show you that, but what I'll do is record a short real-time bit to add on to the end of this time-lapse. We are coming up to the end of this time-lapse in a little while, I believe. So I will say goodbye for now, and I will see you again in a minute in the real time. Bye bye. Hello, and welcome to the real time bit of the video. Won't be long, just I want to show you the entrance that I built to Green Valley Zoo, and here it is. So as you walk in, you can see the entrance building in the distance there. Bit of a slope as well, because I like to make things a bit tricky for myself to build, as you'll see in a second. And this is what I came up with at the entrance here. I wanted it to be lush, lots of colour, but realistic as well. Like I said before, I am a gardener, so when I make gardens in this zoo, they are going to be as realistic as possible. So what I thought here, I wanted the sort of the layered tier effect, and I wanted the flowers to be down here because the staff realistically can get to here to look after flowers, but further up here they wouldn't want to be climbing up here to look after small perennial plants. So they would have all the evergreens up here, all the foliage plants that don't need any looking after. So that was my thinking there. The sign's pretty simple, but I think it works quite nicely. I just used the barrier at the back here as the wall, sunk some of these lovely square sort of moss panels in, and then just used the simple 3D lettering, just doubled up there, changed the colour around in the middle so that it stands out, and yeah, I think it looks quite good actually. I was very happy with that. A mix of plants along the front. There's probably more different plants in here than I would like. Really, in a flower bed you only need 4 or 5 different things, and there's maybe 6 in here in this front bed. But I just love the flowers in this game so much, I can't resist adding more and more of them into a flower bed each time. But I will try and keep it to a low number where possible, and the same at the back here. I've layered them, so you've got the absolute tallest palms up the back there. Obviously try not to block the sign too much at the front. And a little trick that I used in here is a lot of these palms, you'll notice, particularly things like this, they're not actually in the ground. They're raised up, and that's simply because I wanted that particular plant up there, and I use that technique a lot all the way through this border, because it doesn't matter. It's the foliage at the top that matters. You can't see the bottom, so it doesn't matter that it's not in the ground, because from down here you can't see. All you can see is the top, and so as long as I was getting the tops of the plants where I wanted them, it really doesn't matter. I think pretty much all of these behind the sign here, all of these up the top, none of them are anywhere close to the ground, but they're in between 2 walls. You can't see. There's foliage down the bottom hiding all their stems, so it really doesn't matter, and it creates the effect that I wanted. I wanted it to be thick with leaves, a little bit of colour coming through, but not too much. You've got the lovely red stems of the I think they're lipstick palms at the back there. And then I'd finished it, and then I thought it just needs something else, so then I just dotted some of the statues. So I'm being very careful not to show you too much of the other stuff that I've done, because that will give away the next few videos. So yeah, I dotted the statues. Obviously I've got the big gorilla at the top of the slope there. Made life a little bit tricky getting this rock work up here. It's very time consuming, but the effect is worth it in the end once it's all in and done. There's even a little caiman there just poking his head out of the flowers, getting ready to scare the little kids. Yeah, I'll just turn it to night time because the lighting, it's subtle. Obviously the sign, oh excuse me, I keep doing that. The sign is lit up, as is the path, but what I've also done is just put a couple of orange lights here in the second layer, just at the back, just shining through the foliage, and then red further back. So again, it goes from light, slightly darker to dark, and the red at the back is just, it's not perfect, it's just some light scattered around on the floor there, but nobody goes back there. You can't see. The effect that I wanted was when you're down on the path here, you could just see that hint of red up above the hint of the orange here, and then you've got the green and the yellow. Oh yeah, I won't look that way too much, but you've got a lovely pink tree up there which is connected to the entrance. So I will just go up there and show you the entrance, but I don't want to look to the right because that's the next episode. So yeah, so the entrance building is up here. This is nice and open, as it would be in a zoo. You'd have a very big area where people can queue to buy their tickets. That's the idea here. So this is the ticket office, which you saw me building before. Again, don't want to look over there too much. I will just show you this up here. It's just a basic facilities building that I put in up here. Very simple and effective. I mean, it's exactly what you would have in a zoo. Just, it would look nice if it was on shows to the public, but it wouldn't be too fancy. It's just functional. So you've got a staff room, quarantine, trade centre, engineers workshop in there. The zookeeper huts, I'm going to try and have one per habitat, so they're going to actually be separate and in the habitats, which you will see when I do my first habitat video. So yeah, that's all I wanted to show you. Just this entrance here, which I was very happy with, and very annoyed that I lost the video of actually building it. But there we go. The result is there for all to see. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've certainly enjoyed making it. Hopefully my commentaries will improve. Like I say, this is the first time I've ever done this. Don't really know what to talk about. Don't know if anyone will ever even watch this, but I'm enjoying doing it, so I will continue. So thank you very much for tuning in, and hopefully I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.